when influx happened, Bangladesh was unprepared to accommodate more than 10 lakh people from Myanmar who are forcefully driven away, and they came to Bangladesh. So Bangladesh government sheltered them in the deep forest of Ukia and Teknaf. Huge of loss happened here in terms of environment, wildlife and forest.
Ara 17 ayere beshi কষ্ট করে আসছি বারানি বল্লা দারগনা ফারগনা ara মুরাতুন দারগত আনি হরিত কিনারে মুরা আছে 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 দূরদার গই দূরদালে তো আর তো না কেনা মানে 10 মিনিট 15 মিনিট আটটি মনে করো 1 ঘন্টার পথ গিলে গই 1 ঘন্টা তো 2 ঘন্টা 2 ঘন্টা তো 3 ঘন্টা গাছ হইতে গাছ গুটটা পর্যন্ত হাইবে গুড়া পর্যন্ত হাইবে লাগি হার সিংহ পর্যন্ত হাইরে আসা 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 শেষ গিল গই
When we arrived about 3 years ago, this entire area was completely barren. There was only one tree in the entire camp. Destruction of the forest, it also destroys the soil levels so that planting cannot take place. It also creates an unsafe environment. We had numerous landslides which would destroy people's homes and also wash away all the food that they've been able to accumulate in their homes.
FAO, in partnership with IOM, undertook an assessment on food fuel supply and demand in late 2017, and based on the outcomes of this assessment, FAO designed an integrated intervention based on what we call socio-ecological system approach, where aspects related to natural resource management, environment, energy and livelihood are tackled in an holistic way to target both the needs of the refugees and the host communities.
In order to prevent further deforestations, in order to prevent soil erosion, in order to prevent the loss of water and water levels, the UN response, and especially UNHCR, has focused our work into providing alternative sources of energy in the camps.
The greatest thing about coordination over the last 2 years was connecting people. Not only for expertise, technically, it could be for funding, it could be for ideas, but I think that was the greatest strength of the group. There's so much opportunity, especially when guys are sharing technical knowledge, when they're sharing ideas, when they're sharing expertise.
গ্যাস দনের পরে আর আস্তে আস্তে গ্যাস ব্যবহার করি তো গ্যাস ব্যবহার করা হলে আর তো আর মোরা তো জানোয়ারেরা আগত লাহোর নতাই তো কেন রান্না বাড়া করছুম চিন্তা আসছিল এখন তো চিন্তা নাই
রান্না বান্না এরা লাতা মাতা আসলে হাত গানাই তুয়াই ফেড়াই এরা আঙ্গি আর মায়ে ভোজ আরই হয়ে যাইতো আমায় হয়ে যাইতো দারগোল্লা মুরার মাঝে রাইগুলো হাতি টাতি আছে লড়াইব তারাইবিল্লা ডরাইতে দেরি গ্যাস দিয়ে আরে এ বছর 1.5 বছর বাদে তো বাইরে দারগোল্লা জানো ঘরের গরম মাঝে রাঁধি রাঁধি হাইবারি রে
all the families, refugee families, but also host communities, those most vulnerable, are now supplied on daily and monthly basis with LPG. We have managed to move them from using firewood to using alternative source, and like that prevented 80% of the firewood that was otherwise utilized before for cooking. LPG has many more objectives, preventing SGBV, supporting children, giving them time to attend the school, providing for the time for the women also to have it spent in different ways of supporting their families, as well as reducing the health hazard risk.
লাহোরে তুয়ানো করে এখন গ্যাস দিয়ে রান্না বাড়া করি তারি সবে জ্বালা পোড়া করতেও লাহোরে দিয়ে রান্না করলে এখন যত জ্বালা পোড়া না করে ভালো লাগে সমাজও রাঁধি খাইতে পারি আগে দেরি হইতো আগে সময় খাইতো তারপর লাহোরে চূড়া দিয়ে রাঁধি সময় মজি ভাত রাঁধি খুয়াই দিয়ে দিন না খাইতাম এখন পারি এখন হারা রান্না বাড়া করি বেচারা খাওয়াইতে পারি
আগতরে এখন যে পরিবর্তন বহুত পরিবর্তন হয়েছে আগে বেশি গরম আসছিল জিক্কা দেখা গরম আসছিল এখন তো বহুত ঠান্ডা গাছ শুনো গাছ উঠছে গাছ ছায়া তলে যায় বই হচ্ছে
গরম হস্ত পাইতাম ধরি ইও তো গরম হস্ত পাই যুদ্ধ গাল লাগাই ইয়ালা ভালো ইয়েরি গাছ গুছালা ইয়ালা সাবর আরো ভালো আর বাগান টাগান আগে সুন্দর গিয়ে আবার বাগান লাগাই আইলে গিয়ে আগা করে শান্তি গিয়ে
In collaboration with the Forestry Department, we also developed the biological land stabilization methodology to plant several indigenous species to protect also the local biodiversity. Thanks to our technical expertise, FAO is leading the reforestation activities inside the camp and outside the camps. In fact, inside the camps, out of the 350 hectares covered, 258 has been done by FAO. While outside the camps, we managed to cover almost 2,000 hectares. This methodology has been also utilized by all the partners within the Energy and Environmental Technical Working Group.
Together, we've planted over 1 million trees. So just WFP alone, we've planted 400,000 trees. With these trees and the work that we've done through the disaster risk reduction, we've planted these trees to stabilize slopes so that there's less landslides in the camp. So people have been able to maintain their houses even in the monsoons. It also reduces the cyclone risk. The other things that we've done through the disaster risk reduction is also create roads and bridges and road paths along with drainage systems so that when the monsoons come, the water is channeled into rivers and also ponds where people have been able to raise fish for food consumption, which has also helped the dietary diversity in the area.
Working on watershed management to cover and target the needs of community in terms of agriculture production and also household water needs.
We have the area in the camp where, to the maximum effect, the nature itself will protect us by having seedlings, by having forests, keep the land from moving, by having water paths as they were in the past before the camps were there.
This has created not only a greener area, a more beautiful place to work and to live, but it's also improved the healthy environment of the people who are here.
Between Bangladesh and Myanmar was a migratory route for the elephants. Putting the camps straight in the migratory routes of the elephants has created conflict between human beings and the elephants. Putting in place 100 watchtowers, creating new paths and new areas that will become elephant sanctuaries. We have created a rescue release type of a project that helps not only elephants but other species to kind of create a new co-habitat with human beings.
to protect the natural environment of elephant. In fact, through some technical guidelines and the coverage of 20 hectares with the fodder species, we are trying to also address the needs in terms of food and water of these important animals.
When everyone worked together, it was amazing.
The seed is a symbol of hope. Shade for biodiversity.
Bringing back to the environment.
That all the agencies, international organizations, and also local NGOs have been a part of. Because without one, you can't have the other. So it's really a symbiotic relationship between the two, and that's really how we've made the big change here in Cox's Bazar.
And we'd like to recognize in particular the RRRC and the Forestry Department for their leadership, and planting together really does help to stabilize the area in the camp.
On behalf of the government, thank all the UN agencies, UNHCR, IOM, WFP, FAO, and overall the Forestry Department of our country, and overall the stakeholders, those who worked very hard to make this a better land into a green land.